Well, there it is, everybody. I've got to get the front door for that, but there's a completed wood stove boiler system to heat the greenhouse. And I still have to shore up the drums to the wall, make sure they don't fall. But I've got the pipe through the roof. Now I've got to also get a piece of 9-inch, is it 8-inch? 8-inch pipe that I'll space out around that as a heat shield on the top, going through the roof. And that's what I did in the tiny house on wheels in the beginning, and that kept the heat from hitting the rafters around that and around the walls and stuff. It acts as a perfect heat shield. But anyway, there's that going through the roof. That'll be fine. I've got to go into town and get a top cap, which I didn't get last time. Why, I don't know, but now I got to go get a cap for the top. We've got the complete system, so the next process is to get water into the barrels and then start a fire and see if this is going to work. So the rainwater collection system behind the greenhouse is freed up. The valve was frozen, but the sun's been on it and it's freed up, so we're going to start pouring some buckets. And actually we might use Chris's generator. He has this little Harbor Freight generator that he uses here. He keeps it here for us to use, and we might use that to pump water into here, right into the barrels. That's a lot faster. So anyway, I'm going to check the fittings, make sure the glue is cured, and then we'll start pumping water and hope that it holds. Actually, first, again, don't get ahead of myself. Brace those things up to the wall. Hey guys, I haven't done the framing yet, but right now we've got a water pipe going in to the top. We're filling the bottom barrel only for right now, and then I'm going to do a test burn before I go much further. I want to know if water's going to flow before I even go any further than that. I'll hear water flowing uphill into that tank, and then water coming back from that one into here. I should be able to hear water flow once I start the stove burning. So we're just filling the bottom tank only, and when that's done, how I'm knowing that is I have my ear up to this thing and I can hear the water flowing inside here, pushing itself in. So once we get that bottom tank filled, then I'm going to stop pumping water and do a test burn. Now we have Chris's Harbor Freight generator hooked up to the rainwater collection system on the back of the greenhouse, and well, I'll show you what we got going on. We have garden hose running over here. We've got water pump. Chris is controlling the flow by turning the valve as needed. That's our sump. Hi Chris, thanks for coming out. Thanks for the use of your little generator. So he's controlling the flow here, and we've got that swimming pool pump or sump pump or whatever you want to call it in there in the bucket. And this is how we're filling that barrel. I think, Chris, from here down is probably about 55 gallons, would you think? I'd say we shut it off when we do a test burn and see what happens. All right, well, let's go inside and see how it looks, huh, Chris?
Yeah.
That poor rainwater tank wasn't doing so well. Unsupported, it was temporary anyway, so we need to get the water out before the deep freeze so it doesn't get wrecked. Yeah. Hey everybody, I've got a fire burning in the wood stove, the little Sears Potbelly water boiler, and if you listen here, Chris is setting down a seat here. If you listen, you can hear water gurgling. You hear the water?
Yep. Beautiful sound.
Yes, it is. There's water pumping up through, the hot water is expanding, and the hot water is lighter than the cold, so the hot water gets pushed up the pipe and it's running into the top drum, and the cold water is heavier and pushing itself back into the wood stove to be heated. And we have an automatic self-pumping system. Well, if only I knew that back in the camper days, eh, Chris?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that have been nice, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day when I was running this stove,
Yep.
in that old camper and freezing to death.
Yeah.
And had issues with the electrical and all kinds of junk.
Yeah.
There were times when I couldn't run the water pump or the stove because I had no power to run it. Do you remember?
Yep.
Because I had no power to run it. So there were times I couldn't heat the camper because I didn't have the power.
Yep.
And I didn't have a generator back then either. Those were rough days.
Yeah.
So we've got the pipe smoking. The pipe is doing its burn in and curing. You can see the different color on it right here. That's gurgling. Look at that. You got steam coming up? I don't know if you can see the steam, guys. There's steam coming up. And there's water pumping through. It's slow. It's sporadic, but it's bubbling in. It's pumping in. So I've got a lot of work yet to do. This top drum has no water in it. Not yet. Till I get it secured to the wall. So that's just sitting there. But the bottom drum is filled. And we're going to see how long it takes to heat up that water with this wood stove. So this is exciting. And Chris is enjoying the warmth, aren't you? Next I gotta get, I'm gonna go in and get some more wood for this little thing. Because it takes 8-inch long pieces and only a couple inches high. So it takes very small pieces of wood, and that was the problem I had. Another problem I had to cut little bits of wood for this. But it's a good, efficient little stove. It's a really nice stove. So I gotta go get a muss of firewood for that. Bring that in here and keep an eye on this. But it's doing its job. My first ever thermosiphon system. Pretty cool. So we got a greenhouse, wood stove, water boiler heating system using 55-gallon drums. Very, very simple setup. Extremely simple.
Yeah.
And self-pumping. Really cool. Self-priming.
And cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, it only cost the fittings. I got the barrels for free.
Yep.
Only the cost of the fittings is all I had to spend on that. Well, guys, there it is. I'm going to get some firewood, and then I'm going to seal off this door, because we're going to have a really cold night tonight and bad day tomorrow. So I'm going to seal this off, and then got some other things to take care of yet. So I'll catch you guys in a while. One more task done. I've got the plastic window sealer in the window here of the greenhouse. So that'll, now the blanket is going to stay as just an extra heat protection, heat loss preventer. And now the door is sealed, finally. I still got to put trim around it. There's a lot to do yet. But anyway, my greenhouse boiler system is working well. The only problem is I've got the glue up on the top came undone from the heat, and I get a little bit of burping. I'm going to have to put an extension on that pipe because I get a little bit burping out every once in a while from the bubbles in the system. So probably once it's done purging the lines and there's no more air in the system, that won't be. But it's probably still burping out bubbles. But it is burping out that top pipe. So I'm going to put a coupler and an extension on that pipe to prevent that. Actually, I could probably prevent it by putting on an end cap now that I think of it. I have an end cap. Hold on a minute. Okay, I just put an end cap on there. I set it on. I just pressed it on lightly. And that'll stop burping. I'm going to have to get some wet water weld. This coupling on the top was giving me trouble because the fitting wouldn't fit inside the pipe properly. It was not a good connection. I wasn't pleased with that in the first place. How wobbly and loose it was. It was a poorly made product because it wasn't made to the right specs. Anyway, so the glue failed on me right there, and that piece is completely loose and taped on with duct tape. Now there's no high pressure in the system, so that's not an issue right now. The water, it's a low pressure self-pumping system. So I have to get some water weld kit, whatever, for plumbing to weld it up. And what I'll have to do tomorrow is let the stove go out, take that apart, let it dry, and maybe I can carve some PVC shavings to make that fitting work. But anyway, I've got to get some water weld for backup. I expect that the bottom fitting is going to fail just the same, because that was also a looser connection, and I expect that that one's going to fail. Everything else seems good. Everything else is holding on tight, but pretty nice. Now, it's still cold here in the greenhouse, and I've been burning this for about an hour and a half or so. It's not warming up yet very much at all. So all these windows is major heat loss. Also, I realize I do have to seal. I don't know why I was thinking I wanted to leave by the corrugated, what do you call it? The corrugated roofing where there's airflow. I do want to seal that with foam. Why I thought I didn't want to, I don't know what I was thinking at that time, but I want to seal that off and stop that heat loss. Because the heat is literally going to just rise and go right on out the top now. But there's my old potbelly wood stove from the old camper, from when I first started out the off-grid project. Freezing to death in the camper. Sort of nostalgic times, guys. Sitting here, warming my hands over the old wood stove. This is so cool. That's why I kept it all these years. I knew I'd use it for something. And use it properly. For a water boiler heating system with thermal mass in the greenhouse. Again, only one tank is filled. I still got to finish framing that in. I'm going to go in for a coffee break, and maybe I'll come back and see what I can do on the framing on that. And once we get that done, then I can fill that other tank. But the bad news is, this is going to take a long time to heat that water the way it's looking. And I don't know if I'm going to fill that tank tonight, but tomorrow is supposed to be really bad and cold, so I'm afraid that if I don't drain out that rainwater tank out back, it won't be possible to do anything tomorrow. It's going to freeze solid. Oh, there's Melanie. Hi, Melanie, bringing my coffee. I was just going to come in for a coffee break, but it comes to me. Have a look. What do you think of the new system, Melanie?
How is that gonna...
Huh? Look here. See the water pipes?
You can cook here?
You can cook here, yes.
Really?
Yep. That's my first stove, Melanie, from when I was in the camper. When I first started out in the camper. Can you shut the door, please? I just put the plastic on it. Yeah. That's my original stove from the camper.
So you can put the cook
You can cook on here. I can see us cooking tea out here and sitting out here in our t-shirts, having a cup of tea on a wood stove.
You have to put... we have to put the kettle here.
Yeah. Yep. It'll be nice, huh? And see those pipes? That what heats up the water in those big tanks.
How are you gonna put the wood?
In the front. That little door right here, you can open that up. Yep. Pull it up and pull it forward. No, don't take it off.
Oh, cool.
Yep. Yep. And that's how you fill it. Is that on there? Did it come loose? Hold this a minute, please. Looks like there's a bigger gap. No, that is... Oh, yeah, it wasn't on. So you just lift up a little. See how this works? You lift up a little and pull it out, and it hangs on its own. And you feed the wood in, and you put it in. Or, you take the pliers, which I got laying here. Where's my pliers? I want to show everybody while I'm sitting here. I got, because I can't find the original... I have the original thing for this. It was a little metal hook thing. But I can't find it right now. Put the pliers in there, open that up, and feed the wood in. Right now we're burning pallet wood. And it's burning pretty well.
That's really cool because you can put the thing.
Yeah, I used to cook meals in this, Melanie.
I like that. It's like electric oven.
Yeah, I used to cook whole meals.
Electric stove.
Yeah. Oh, let's take my coffee back, please. Thank you very much. I'm still going to go in for my coffee break because this is good to go. But it's going to take time to heat this place up because the walls were cold, the insulation was cold, everything was cold. But this wood stove now being inside is going to radiate its heat into the greenhouse as well as the heat from the water. So once it gets warmed up in here and we can maintain it, I think we'll have it pretty comfortable even on the coldest winter nights.
The mice eat mice.
I know that mice ate the celery here. They bit the celery off on this side too. Over here the mice bit the celery off and left it chunks laying. They ate her other celery plant flush to the ground. They ate the lettuce plants, the center of all the lettuce plants flush to the ground. All the ones in the back. And yeah, we're fighting nature here.
That's bad.
But the peas are growing.
Oh, look, my sage. There's
The sage
no
is going to try.
leaves.
Yeah, the sage is going to have to try to grow back. The mouse ate that off to the ground. Yeah. Well, we'll get it up. We'll get it warmed up in here, and we'll have some nice, cozy winter days. All right, guys. I'm going to go inside and enjoy my cup of coffee. This will be fine for a while without me, and then I got to come out here and start framing that in. It's nice, huh, Melanie?
I cannot feel the hot.
Yeah, it's a very efficient stove. It's not pumping too much heat through the pipe. All the water, all the heat is going into heat and water. And then that's going up through the pipes here.
This one is not.
Wow, look at this, guys. Look what she's doing.
This one is not finished yet. I have to put something in the
That's
middle.
incredible, Melanie.
But this one is my favorite.
Look at that. She's burning the leaves on and everything. Wow, she's got talent, guys. And we got some more off-grid project coffee coasters. I'll put the link down below and you can go on over there. And if anybody's interested in these type of coffee coasters, go on and check out our new web store, recycledpalletproducts.com. And soon, hopefully, I'll get these varnished and up on the store for sale. Beautiful things. Also, I've got to get the hardwood coasters finished and varnished and put up on the website. Really beautiful wood this time. We got really nice wood this time. And running it through the planer made them really nice. Look at the work she's doing. There's the baby cat. She sees a big box. She says, I'm going to come out for the big box. Well, guys, we just got home from church, and there was a big box sitting there waiting for us. Melanie, I'm going to need you to help me
Okay.
hold this heavy big box. It says Power Bright on it, so I have an idea what might be in this big box. Many of you know by now that my Power Bright power inverter died while we were in Michigan for Thanksgiving with my family, and we've been using the generator as needed to run the freezer. Although we were running the freezer on solar power just fine, but the little inverter that we have cannot run the solar panels.
See?
And somebody, oh wow, somebody sent us a behemoth. Okay, let me get this out of here.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. I knew by the name on the box what was going to be in here. I have no idea though. There'd be no way of knowing who sent this. There's Baby got her box. Baby's in the box.
Babies in the box. Babies in the
The
box.
baby's in the box. Look at this, guys. That's a Power Bright. 3,500 watt. It's a modified sine wave, 7,000 peak power inverter. It says here, it shows a list of things it can run. It can run a circular saw. This will be interesting to try. An air compressor, a refrigerator freezer, a car polisher, a printer, a vacuum cleaner, a television, a halogen lamp, and a fan. Of course, that's just some ideas. Soft start technology, overload protection, short circuit protection, high speed thermally activated turbo cooling fans, high and low voltage protection, digital LED volt and amp display. That is cool. So it tells you the current. It's got 4 power plugs. That's nice. 4 power plugs. This means, Melanie, we can plug in your electric induction stove, the cooker, again.
Oh, okay.
We couldn't run it before. We didn't have enough power outlets. Now Felix is in the box.
Oh, my Felix.
4 outlets. Very nice.
My pink nose.
Well, you know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, Melanie? I'm going to be installing this big boy
That's
in the watershed. Yeah, I don't know who sent this. If you want to be known, please let us know in the comments.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is power to run the tiny house on wheels, Melanie. Well, no more running the generator for the freezer. We're going to plug it in and run it again. This will run the freezer.
That's cool.
Yeah, cold.
I said cool.
Cold. Freezing
That's
cold.
cool. Thank you so much.
Look at the size of this thing, guys. I had to look. I couldn't wait. This is massive. Oof. Look at the size of the power terminals on that beast. Look at the size of the plugs in this thing. This is huge. Look at the size of that.
What does that mean?
That's where the battery comes in.
Oh,
This is huge. Look at this thing. Wow. This would run the power equipment in the wood shed, or the wood shop. This is massive. Wow. Look at that. What is this? Oh, it's got a remote control. Well, there's a remote control. I don't know exactly what that's about, but this is going to be interesting. There's a remote control button that I can put probably inside the house. I think I'll be able to turn it on and off from inside the house. No more going out in the cold. Wow, guys, check that out. Digital display, 4 power outlets, remote control. This is a behemoth. It's cold though. Melanie says, I don't want to hold it, it's cold.
look it's.
Yeah, it's cold. Wow. Tomorrow I know what I'm going to be doing. Hey everybody, this is Troy and
Melanie,
from the Do-It-Yourself World, and
the Off-Grid Project.
please subscribe and follow our daily videos as we strive to become self-sufficient and off the grid on a budget. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching.